Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? I'm fresh off the motherfucking clock. About to go home and destroy some of this video, man. So, happy fucking Friday, but peep gang, man. We got to rap about some shit, man. Listen, man. The threat that these promoters see in Eddie Hearn at this point, it can't even be denied other than it is, they're threatened by him. They're threatened by his existence up here on this soil up here in North America, man. How dare Oscar De La Hoya? How dare Oscar De La Hoya send the shots that he sent it? Like, this was crazy, man. Like, Canelo is trying to remove the stain off of that man, off of the fabric of his jacket, and that Oscar put there to begin with. Of course, you would say, I wouldn't have Canelo fighting a Dimitri Bivol. Clearly, you won't. Clearly. Because you didn't let him go nowhere near Golovkin until Golovkin started to show some signs of wear and tear. Or him, regressing a little bit. Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? You made it, you put, like, you were so hell-bent on protecting your investment that you've tarnished this dude's reputation to a certain degree. It's not tarnished, but it's blemished in the eyes of a lot of people because they still bring up rematch clauses. They still bring up Canelo weight. They still bring up that month and a half turnaround that Kovalev had to come off of to fight Canelo so he could become a 4-division world champion. You've done all of that shit. Everything that people complain about as it pertains to Canelo, you are at the helm of that. And so of course you go, oh, I wouldn't let him go nowhere near Bivol. It's showing through through the fighters that you have now. You not letting Jaime Munguia go anywhere near Demetrius Andrade is a clear indication of that. You not letting Ryan Garcia go nowhere near Devin Haney is a clear indication as to you wouldn't have let Canelo go anywhere near Dimitri Bivol. You're coddling you coddle cats and because you want to protect the investment, not understand. Like, bro, the only person that you have any sort of confidence in is Virgil Ortiz. You had it in Canelo, that's why you allowed him at 23 to go up and fight a fucking Floyd Mayweather. And it wasn't even confidence like that. You just figured his size alone and his skill set alone would be able to offset anything that Floyd Mayweather was to bring to the table. In particular, his size, because he's so much bigger than Floyd. So you was confident going into that fight. That's the only reason why you let that man dive into that fight. Any other time just it's rehydration, it's all of that shit. And he's doing what it is he has to do to rid himself of that reputation, the reputation that you laid out for him. You've done a lot of shit talking about Floyd Mayweather and in regards to how he's managed his career with fighting. So he fought fighters at the right time. He fought them at the tail end of their career before they was in their prime. It's a multitude of things that you would say about Floyd. And he got the most bang for his buck. There's no prize fighter in history that has amassed the amount of wealth that Floyd Mayweather has. And that bothered you. Only for you to become a promoter your goddamn self and following that man's footprints. You know, when you from East Low, so you wouldn't know about this shit, man. But here in the Midwest and up top in the East, the Northeast, when it snows outside and you gotta walk through a field or something, or you gotta walk through your driveway or whatever to get to the crib, or get into your place of employment, you try your best you hope somebody walked that path before you. So all you gotta do is stick your foot in their footprints to lessen the chances of snow getting in your shoe and freezing your feet. God forbid you gotta walk home from school. Like when I had to walk home we was walking to and from school in the snow, middle of the winter. December, January, February. That's just what it was. You will hope somebody walked that path before you so you can put your feet in those footprints. So you can try to preserve what little bit of warmth you got in that shoe. So your feet won't freeze or that snow won't melt in your shoe. That's what you doing with Floyd. That's what you did with Floyd. All this protecting your investment shit, that shit has got to stop. There's no reason why Jaime Munguia should be fighting fucking Jim Kelly. There's only one Jim Kelly we recognize, man. You come straight out of a comic book. That's the only Jim Carrey we giving credence to. I don't know this motherfucker. How the fuck does a fight with Charlo and Danny Jacobs fall through and seep to the wayside like that? How is that possible? How? You know, for you to sit here and talk about somebody who's doing the shit that he's doing, Eddie Hearn that is, for you to talk about him in the manner that you're talking about him, it just shows a level of delusion, and I hate saying jealousy, but it's looking like that is what it is. You're mad that he took your prize stallion, which we wouldn't have had this problem had you just done right by him. It's as simple as that. Y'all want to do the shady shit in the contracts and all that. This is what you get. This is the results of that. That new edition of TLC shit with them goofy ass deals where they're forever in debt to the company. So now, no matter how successful their albums do, no matter how much sponsorship they get outside of the regular, they're still going to be in debt to the company. That is the most dastardly, devilish shit that you can just... It's fucked up. It's fucked up. And you're, you know, clearly you one of the dudes who was like that. You're him. And now you have to deal with all that money that he's generating for DAZN or even the PBC when he could decide to go over there. You're seeing none of that. This dude just did $600K with Dimitri Bivol. This dude, nobody knew him up here in his country. Despite him being a fucking light heavyweight, Canelo was perceived as the favorite going into the fight. Still did $600K. Meanwhile, Ryan Garcia is having, you know, he breaks a nail, he goes into a mental breakdown, walk into the gym crying and all that, and pitched the stinker with a manual to go. You were supposed to stop that nigga. He didn't. Jaime Munguia, you just refused to, you know what I'm saying, let that man off, take the training wheels off that man. No. You don't want to do none of that. At least let him fight Laura or somebody like that. No, you don't want to do that. It was just the nerve and audacity of you promoters who are just really, you know, y'all are in sinking ships right now, man. And for a nigga like Leonard Ellerby of all people, this is what bothers me about a lot of you dudes, man, because y'all are so tunnel vision as it pertains to boxing. Boxing is a global sport. He keeps, oh, you ain't produced one star in America. All right, that's cool. At the moment, he has the cash cow who primarily fights on North American soil. And when you transcend North American soil, he has Anthony Joshua that he cultivated for, you know, by his goddamn self. Who the fuck? Why? Imagine a nigga who would sit there and talk shit about somebody who's doing what it is that he's doing when you're in. My God, you don't let Eddie Hearn didn't build Canelo. He built Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua does not become who it is that he is if he doesn't take the hard fights that he took. You understand? Y'all got Tank Davis and this dude. Y'all got a magnum over Tank Davis with the amount of protection that y'all are putting over this dude. You talking about he wasted over $1 billion? I'm not so sure about that. Why? Because look at all the countries that he's buzzing in. Y'all are so fixated on fucking America. It's arrogant, man. You just black Americans, like y'all niggas just really think the world is just supposed to grovel at our feet or something. And that's just not the case. Not as it pertains to everything. Culture, like I said, we're the predecessors of culture. That is undisputed. There's no culture as magnanimous as hip-hop culture, man. But when you start talking, even in sports, we produce the sports that we dominate, basketball in particular, boxing. I don't think anywhere else produces the amount of talent that we produce. By and large, you know what I'm saying? Quantity. But that doesn't mean that nowhere else has produced some great, Lennox Lewis, fucking Inoue, like Vasily Lomachenko, Anthony Joshua, Eubank Sr., Nigel Benn, like these are great fighters. Carl Froch, these are great fighters. And then when you go into basketball, you got Luka Doncic on fire right now. Top 5, top 10 player in the league. And he's only 23. But y'all think that they're incapable of producing cats of that ilk. So you expect them to just grovel at your feet and kiss your ass and throw roses at your feet. When someone comes up through the European circuit, oh man, those are Euro bums, even though the fighter that y'all hold in high revere have their best wins over those same Euro fighters that you're talking. We praise Andre Ward. His biggest wins are against Europeans. Outside of Sullivan Barrera, what black guy did he fight? Darnell Boone? Darnell Boone and goddamn Chad Dawson and Sullivan Barrera. Is Darnell Boone and Chad Dawson as big a win as Carl Froch? No! Fuck no! Is Sullivan Barrera as big a win as Kovalev? Hell the fuck no! So why is it that we clap at Europeans a lot, like as if those cats get busy over there? And the way that they're catering to the fight fans over there is honestly blowing America out of the water. They just packed 94K in the with Fury and White, bro. We not doing that here. Gervonta Davis does not sell like that in every arena. If you put him in Vegas, he ain't doing crazy numbers like that. Shakur Stevenson, he ain't pack out the house. What are we talking? Jamal Charlo ain't even selling in his own hometown like that. But you will sit up here and turn your nose up at Eddie Hearn, just like for what? For what? You gotta pay how you weigh. 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 As it pertains to Devin Haney and Tank Davis, I got money to blow. Y'all don't. Y'all don't have that at your disposal. And Devin Haney, if he beats George Kambosos, his profile is going to be heightened. And he's already said, I'm working with Eddie Hearn throughout my career. So he's going right back to Eddie Hearn after these 2 fights are over with. What the fuck are you talking about? Y'all are fixated on America, but will disregard the 7 other continents. Y'all don't give a fuck about Europe. Y'all don't give a fuck about Australia. Y'all don't give a fuck about Africa. Y'all don't care about all these other places where boxing is vibrant at. Because y'all are so fixated on America. And it's just audacious for somebody to sit here and talk like he's clapping at Canelo for fighting who it is that he's fighting. Who is Tank Davis? You mean to tell me Tank Davis has done nothing of what Canelo has done? You got the nerve to clap at him, talk your shit about Canelo, while we are getting Rolly Romero, Leo Santa Cruz, Isaac Cruz, and Mario Barrios on pay-per-view for $75 a head. None of those matches mean anything. They're all in-house fights. All in-house fights. There's no belts on the line. There's no prestige on the line. It's just simply Rolling Romero versus Tank Davis. There's no pizzazz to it because y'all are expecting Tank to be able to carry that burden of selling the fight because y'all think he's arrived. While you talking about Tank, you talking greasy about Tank. Tank doesn't even get paid as much as Devin Haney. You don't see that as problematic? The fact that this man is talking about leaving Mayweather Promotions, like, bro, y'all robbed that man out of 5 and 7 M's because you didn't want him to go over there and cross the street to the zone. At this point, none of y'all fucking with Eddie Hearn. None of y'all fucking with Eddie Hearn. Because he has all the money to blow the amount of money to blow that he has, he also he's using that and he's building fight on a global scale. He's brung back women. Women's boxing was not what it is now without Eddie Hearn. He's building these women up. He's not the first one to host female fights, no. But he's pushing for them to be as successful as the men. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. I was watching on the Zone, and I was in spots. I was having trouble hearing the announcers. I was having trouble hearing not the announcers, but the commentators. I was having trouble hearing the other commentators, Jessica McCaskill and everybody else. I was having trouble hearing them because that place was that electric. Eddie Hearn did that. Eddie Hearn did that. But because y'all it's just y'all have such a hard time with just paying homage and saluting him because he was a threat to Deontay Wilder's our first black heavyweight champion in years. Y'all were so threatened by that every time his name comes up, y'all say something slick about y'all are so delusional with it that y'all would run around and parrot the fact, oh man, that's a slave master. He's Anthony Joshua slave masters, as if Deontay Wilder never had it, as if he doesn't have Shelly Finkel handling him. And y'all just refuse to acknowledge him firing Mark Breland but keeping JD's, even though JD's was the one who watched Tyson Fury's hands get wrapped. This is how left field y'all have gotten when it comes to Eddie Hearn. It's just the void of logic with y'all is astonishing. So for a nigga like Leonard Ellerby, dog, who is doing nothing, y'all have no other fighters on TMT. Y'all are pushing Gervonta Tank Davis. Y'all are pushing him, and you can't even really push him in the way that y'all want to push him because y'all want to protect him. Because y'all don't want him to lose. Y'all are so scared that he's gonna lose his own. This is what happens when you fucking you predicate your entire career on perfection. The thought of being imperfect, it haunts y'all. Even though imperfection in a certain spotlight can really be beneficial to who you are. Y'all don't want to go through that though. Y'all don't want to go through that. And because y'all don't want to go through that, Gervonta Davis is where he's at now. And you got the nerve to turn your nose up at somebody that's building in the capacity that he's building in. Globally. Motherfuckers ain't packing a house in Saudi Arabia to come and see no goddamn Gervonta Davis. And if I was y'all, I would really start looking for other cash cows and other fighters to reach out to because Gervonta Davis may not be under Mayweather Promotions after this fight. So then what you gonna do then? Y'all be really trying to make business look harder than it is, bro. At the end of the day, big fights is big business. Tevin Farmer was a big fight for the, you know, not a colossal fight, but for the boxing heads, that was a big fight. That was a big fight and a multi-million-dollar payday for Tank. Has he received a multi-million-dollar guarantee with Mayweather Promotions? I don't think he has. He could have got that with Eddie Hearn and Tevin Farmer, though. But y'all refused him. It's just the audacity of y'all dudes, man. Just instead of throwing salt, learn from them. Instead of throwing salt, learn from them. But y'all are so bullheaded that y'all won't do it. He has a threat. Whatever division Tank is in, he has a threat. He had a threat. I think Tevin Farmer was a threat to Tank Davis, but I think Tank Davis would have beat him. Could have beat him. I think he could have beat him. I'm out, man. Y'all dudes. I'm outie. Fuck.